Welcome to Sound Values, powered in part by LSA Burger and Classic
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight live on Sound Values here, located in the beautiful Discover Denton Welcome Center. It is the first day of spring out there on the Denton Square. My name is Kime Beats. Folks, I have a very, very special treat here in the studio tonight, performing their brand new song, Something. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the boys Ariel and The Culture. Y'all take it away right now. Let's get that beat rolling for y'all.
Yeah. Here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3, now. I ain't never been obsessed before, but my act was looking back when you walked that floor. Got my hands tingling now, and my mouth can't seem to find a sound. Hey, go figure, that figure. Had me got a like an and I skater, but lately, my lady got me taking notes like a waiter. She stood taller than me, but the doors and everyone I'm like 4'3". Shoulders back with that heat high. I could swear, baby girl had never cried. Bad lady, proud baby. She seemed like she had made it. Go sweetie, I'm sweating. Let's get to forgetting now. She knew that I'd do anything now. Hey, for real. She knows that from knowing nothing. Hey, hey, hey. She the real deal. But let me tell you one thing. What's that? I want her to be something. Okay. But let me tell you one thing. What's that? I want her to be something. Here we go now. Hey. I've been down for a minute, but I'm not and I'm back. I took a little bit, but I ran that track. I don't need no notes from you. Yeah, Nate, if you would just take my card, I swear it wouldn't be that hard just to know that I'm here for you, baby. Break it down, say, I ain't never been obsessed upon the black hues you got on, got me wanting more, hey. Got my heart pounding now, and my feet done like roots in the ground, hey. She was hot, Shalula, I want her to be my ruler. Please don't be real petty, let's figure this out alright now. She just was so smooth, she just kinda had a Santana groove, hey. I straight with her lips closed, by speaking on and off, she said the most, hey. Bad lady, proud baby, she seemed like she had made it. Go sweetie, I'm sweating, just tell me when's the wedding now. Say she knew that I'd do anything now. For real. She knows that from knowing nothing. Hey, hey. Say baby, she the real deal. But let me tell you one thing. What's that? I want her to be something. Okay, but let me tell you one thing. What's that? I want her to be something. Whoa, oh, oh, but let me tell you one thing. What's that? I want her to be something. Okay, but let me tell you one thing. What's that? I want her to be something. Whoa, oh, oh. Sing it with me now. She said, won't you come my way, baby girl? There's room enough for two. Nah, nah. No, won't you come my way, baby girl? Just to know that I'm here for you.
Ooh. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but it's too hot in the studio. We're going to have to take a quick break. We'll be right back to have a nice conversation with Ariel and The Culture. Whoo, fellas. Fellas, it's a little hot in here. All right, we'll be back.
Shorty, get down, good Lord. Baby got 'em open all over town. Strictly bitch, she don't play around. Cover much ground, got game by the pound. Getting paid is a forte, each and every day. True play away, can't get it out of my mind. Oh, I think about the girl all the time. East side to the west side, pushing fat right, this ain't no surprise. She got tricks in the stash, stacking up the cash, fast when it comes to the gas. By no means average, she's on when she's got to have it. Baby, you're a perfect 10. I wanna get in. Can I get down so I can win? I like the way you work it. No diggity, gotta back it up. I like the way you work it. No diggity, I've gotta back it up. Like the way you work it, no diggity, I've gotta back it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity, I've gotta back it up. She's got class and style, street knowledge by the pound. Baby, never act wild, very low-key on the profile. Catching feelings is a no. Let me tell you how it goes. Cause the word spins the verb. Lovers, it curves, so freak what you heard. We're rolling with the fatness. You don't even know what the half is. You gotta pay to play just for sure to bang bang to look your way. I like the way you work it, trump tight all day, every day. You're blowing my mind, baby, in time. Maybe I get you in my ride. I like the way you work it. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. That girl looks good. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Play on, players. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. I like the way you work it. No diggity, I've gotta back it up. I like the way you work it. No diggity, I've gotta back it up. Like the way you work it. No diggity, I've gotta back it up. Like the way you work it. No diggity, I've gotta back it up. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning right back in live with us right here in the beautiful Discover Denton Welcome Center. If y'all are just tuning in, I want y'all to go back a little bit before the commercial break, and I want you to check out that song by Ariel and the Culture. It was absolutely amazing. These cats are something new to the Denton scene, and you guys are sounding fresh. I got to tell you, when I received the email, I was like, okay, cool, you know, getting an email, and then you sent me those tracks, and I was like, hey, this is cool. I like this. I like this music. This is different.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, but I wasn't expecting to like it that much. I'll tell you that.
Appreciate
You know, that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
So real quick, I want you guys to go ahead and introduce yourself separately and kind of what you do, what your part in the band or the group is.
I'm Jason Bobadilla. I go by Ariel, the moniker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Ariel in the Culture. Sort of the band leader, lead vocalist, fashion connoisseur. You know what I mean?
I feel that, yeah.
And, yeah.
My name's Clarissa Medrano, and I am the official manager of the band.
The unofficial official manager.
Yeah.
I like that. I
We're
like
going
that.
to do a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's like those unofficial official South by Southwest, you know, whatever the showcases,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
And my name's Brandon Conley, and I'm a horn player. So
Righteous.
there's
Yeah,
a
if you
couple of
didn't
us,
know,
yeah.
that's what he did in the song. You know, if you
Believe it or
yeah.
not.
That's what he was doing. So the first question that I'm going to ask you, Jason, is a question that I pretty much throw out to all the guests. The first thing I want to know is, like, what's your first musical memory? So when you think back to a time where you were watching a musician or watching something or heard music for the first time, you're like, I want to do this. Like, music needs to be a part of my life.
So it's not gonna be what you've heard before, probably.
Okay.
So High School Musical, man.
Yeah.
High School Musical. I used to DVR that the whole original first one, and I learned all the songs,
Hey,
like
High
all
School
the
Musical?
High School Musical and all. High School Musical,
sure.
and I did
For sure.
I learned all the dance moves.
Like the
And I
first
mean,
one?
Yeah.
The first High School
Yeah,
Musical?
2006,
Because
2007.
because I'll
Yeah.
age myself. I'm 30,
Uh-huh.
so I graduated when that was coming out, and it was
Man.
like, there were homies like walking in the hall.
Hey,
playing
yes,
back.
Exactly.
It's like, this is cool now. all of a
Man, I had
sudden?
there's a home
Yeah.
video somewhere of doing Bop to the Top.
No
Both parts.
way.
No, for real.
That's
for real. Both
that's
the parts,
crazy, man. I mean, I'm gonna be real. That is, no one's ever said High School Music here.
Yeah.
In almost 2 years of interviews, you get a lot of different
Yeah.
answers. But you know what, Zach? If you're the reason that sweet music just
Zac Efron,
existed in
man.
my life, heads up. Plus, I feel like Zach has redeemed himself throughout
Yeah,
the
man.
years.
A little bit.
Charlie St. Cloud got me right here in the
Man,
fields.
that
if y'all never
movie.
saw that one,
Yeah,
it was
that's a good
great.
one.
All right, I was like, all right,
A lot
Zach,
of
I'm gonna
tears.
let this one go. All right, all right. So, what made you want to get interested in music, or kind of helping to? Because, I mean, being a manager, the unofficial manager, it's no easy task. It's no easy
Yeah.
task. So what made you want to do something like this?
Yeah, so I actually work at the University of North Texas, and I'm the live music coordinator for a student programming board.
Nice.
So as a part of my job is just to bring musicians to UNT, and really I wanted to bring a lot of diverse musicians. And so UNT has just like a reputation for just
Yeah.
I mean just what North Jones. I
Just
don't
like
know.
her. I don't know who that is.
But a lot of indie music, and so I wanted something that was a little bit different from like the normal indie music. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, and we feature a lot of UNT students throughout, like for our programming and stuff. So when Jason was like, "I'm kind of in a band," I was like, "Okay, can you like kind of play?" And then he formed the crew, and they performed, and everybody was living
That's
in the
awesome.
union. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's very cool. So how about you, man? I mean, how did you first start playing the horns, or did you pick up a guitar? What kind of got you start playing music?
Well, I always knew I, loved music. From growing up, I grew up in a gospel church, and
Okay.
so for as long as I can remember, I remember like just choirs of just 40, 50 piece choirs just blowing my face off with this glorious gospel music. And so that's what sparked it all. And then I also have a professional trumpet player as an uncle. And so
nice.
looking up to him my whole life and being able to see like what opportunities he's put himself in, it really got me in music is kind of like, I can make a career out of this.
It's
And
true.
So, like,
It's true. So, as you kind of started to develop this sound, man, because it's an interesting sound. So,
Sure.
there's a guy named Craig David out of Canada. All right, this dude was a hot R&B singer in like '98 through 2000.
Yeah.
Your voice reminds me of Craig David, and your flow style reminds me of
You
it.
know Craig David?
I think
Craig David was fire. He sang this one song, "Fill Me In," and you can check out "Fill Me In," and I'll still jam that. All
You
right,
better write that down.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that one down.
It's a good one, man. And so that's what it reminded me of. But then you have there's some Latin flavor in there. There's
Yeah.
even some chill trap going on, and there's hip hop combined in there. And then you have kind of the soulful jazzy horns going on right here. So what's kind of the inspiration for the sound, and how'd you kind of start to put this all together?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it goes back further than me. So both my parents immigrated from Mexico, right? And my mom came in the 90s. And after she came in high school, so she grew up in South Dallas in the 90s. So what was prominent there? Like hip-hop, R&B. So she, like, lost all that, like, Hispanic flavor and everything. And so she really, she, like, put, like, I started listening to, like, Tupac, especially Will Smith and all that Mariah Carey, man. Welcome to my ambient.
Yeah,
Bro, that was I knew that before my
South
ABCs, man. It was, and then my dad came later in life, so he still had a lot of, I guess, Spanish roots, and so like basically in the car with her when I was young, all I would hear was like R&B and hip hop and stuff, and then I'd go with him and I'd hear like salsa music and everything. So I feel like I have a lot of influence, kind of meshing both of them together, and doing the best I can. So that's where it comes from.
And so like your voice as well, you know. You go a lot higher when you kind of start. And do you consider it rap? What you're doing, do you consider it rap, or is it more of an R&B kind of combination of flowing and singing?
I mean, you tell like a small, short Hispanic boy is rapping, people don't take you seriously. So I'm just gonna say, I'm just doing what feels.
You're flowing.
We're flowing, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I liked about it. You know, you danced on the mic.
Yeah.
You dance on it, which is really, really well done, man. I'm a big when it comes to rhyme scheme, that is like my number one thing when I'm listening to somebody do what you just did, and the way that you bounce around and play with your rhythms on it. Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate
awesome
it.
job. Awesome job. So, what was like your Did you hear the band first, or were you guys kind of friends, or was this just like a random meeting and acquaintance, and you're like, "This is some great music"?
No,
like,
he's actually in the same like student org. So I have like a music committee, and he emailed me. I was like, "Does anybody know any students who can come and perform for this one show we're gonna have?" And during the meeting, he emailed me, and I like looked at it, and I was like, why did you just email? Like, why couldn't you say anything? But I listened to a SoundCloud, and it had a couple of things, but I really like the sound. I'm a huge fan of, like, Anderson .Paak and stuff, and they kind of remind me of that. And I was like, you have to perform.
Yeah.
You have to come and perform.
Yeah, for sure. I would like I said, kind of it's that combination of the R&B plus flow. I mean, on Anderson .Paak's, Suede, it's just like he bounces all around the place, so that's what I really like that about the way that you just emceed with the mic. So tip of the hat if I had one, man. Keep doing that.
Thank you.
And now, whenever you're up there and you're playing, because I've always loved horn players, man. Like people who can play the horns, especially like in the world of hip hop, right? I mean, people sampling horns and horns as a way to really like, you can take a beat that you're working on, you can have a simple piano riff, and you can put like a one-shot horn echo, and all of a sudden it changes everything. Adds a whole new vibe. So besides your uncle and just kind of being in the gospel, when did you start playing the horns?
Man, I think when I really started trying to experiment on my horn is actually when, I started out my auditioning process to come to UNT and play. I knew I needed some versatility in my playing.
Okay.
And, to set me apart from other players. I'd had a good tone, blah, 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 but I needed something else, you know what I mean? And versatility was a big part. So I wanted to find a way to – I love hip-hop, by the way. I can love it. And so I wanted to find a way to incorporate the rhythms in hip-hop and the feel in hip-hop, and being able to express that on the horn. And there's people that do it all, like every horn player that's developed as a player has tried to experiment. Exactly. And so Miles Davis is somebody who, towards the end of his career, everybody looks at the beginning of his career, but the end of his career, he started experimenting with hip-hop, and he wanted to go on with Prince, and he wanted, he wanted to experiment and be versatile. And so
he starts hearing all these new heads sampling his
stuff.
Stuff. He's like, wait a minute.
You're like, wait, what are they playing?
Wait a minute. They're copying my records. I could play over this.
And it's another thing. People like to think of horn players as just horn players, and I think that's not a good way to
Man, I've always said that horns, in a way, can be percussion as well.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of how I felt. And one of my favorite experiences, like him, dislike him, I loved the live performance. I got to see Chance the Rapper at Bonnaroo.
Oh, my God.
I saw Chance at Bonnaroo, and when, Blessings.
Oh, I love Blessings.
And like I told people, I was like, that was not watching a rap show. That was a performance.
Exactly.
And so that was him, and once again, you can like him or dislike him. Chance, and then Macklemore was actually there too the year before. A lot of people just remember Macklemore for like thrift shop and stuff. But he had this record that came out when he was like 20 years old, and he played a lot of the stuff from that record, and he had a horn player up there. And those are the first times that I had seen in a newer generation of hip hop people starting to bring the horns back out, and less like heavy 808s and synth kind of stuff.
It used to be the center stage, and then it kind of got on the back burner a little bit, and so now people are experimenting and starting to incorporate a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Yeah,
so,
it's I love it. Like one of the things that I subscribe to is this thing called Splice. It's just a huge sample library.
Oh, really?
And I mean, you pay $8 a month, and it's
I'm gonna write that down.
Millions of samples, dude. Millions and millions and millions. I mean,
Awesome.
from I mean, if you want, Metro Boomin, he puts, they have like exclusive stuff. If you want that kind of thing, if you want Miles Davis stuff, they have that, and drums. I mean, everything. So if you're, as someone who can't play the horns, like that's what I have to use, But then like I see players, and I'm like, man, I need a friend who plays the horns,
Hey man, we've let him around. He actually went with this the Dallas band Luna Luna. I don't know if you've given them a listen. Yeah, they're big. They're blowing up right now. A big indie band, and they just dropped their self-free publicity wherever you're at, Luna. For Lovers Only EP, and he's on there. It's called Daydream, and he's on the track.
That was a fun one.
That's really cool. So we know how y'all met. How'd y'all meet?
Well, actually, one of the other horn players, Alan Yu, actually brought me in. I'm in a bunch of classes with him at school, and so he was like, "Hey, man, I'm in this group. You know, wondering if you can come in and play with us a little bit." And I'm thinking, all right, maybe a couple rehearsals, you know. And I hear the group, and I hear something different, you know, something else, and that's really exciting as a player, like. And so I knew immediately,
I mean, when you do that, like, you know, da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, that's when I'm like, yes. Yeah, see, that's different. That's cool. It's something fresh. And what you also have going on, man, is, once again, you're 20, I'm 30. I'm sitting here in the behind the scenes vibing because so what you're doing right now, and from what I'm hearing from the sound, is you are combining multi-generations of different types of sounds,
definitely.
too. Like I said, so you're going to have adults who are going to be 50, 70 years old vibing to your stuff, and then you're going to have 18-year-old, 20, 21-year-olds vibing to your stuff as well, which if you can cross those age gaps, man, oh my goodness, it helps immensely. And so you're doing that. And so that's awesome, man. And that's why, like, I have found that I can play Anderson .Paak, and my dad has no idea what it is, but he likes it.
Exactly.
You know? And he's like, hey, what was that? I really like that. Or I can play a group that's called a Tuxedo.
Oh,
yeah.
We did. Hey, second time around.
Oh, that's Tuxedo.
Yeah.
We have
And so I
I
played that, and my dad was like, "What is this?"
I love it. Disco,
that tune
man.
Is vibey.
Yeah, he's like,
That tune
"This is from now." And I was like, "Yeah, this is from now." He's like, "Oh." It's like, I'm not ready to get old, I guess. You know, he was like, "It's just been so. What's happening?" You know. So yeah, man. So that was kind of the vibes that I was getting, man. So yeah, you know. Keep it up, man. The way that you can cross those genres is really cool. So I know that you guys, I kind of heard y'all mentioning a show, like y'all might be playing somewhere recently, or you have something coming up. What do we got going on as far as live performances where we can see more of what you just did?
We just finished our last big show we just did was February 17th with Luna and a rap group called Brain Dead from Dallas too, and it was kind of like a fancy house show. It was like a house show, but it wasn't. Anyway, it was in Garland. I don't know if you know where that is. It was in Garland, yeah. That's my hometown. So and that was our last thing we just played. And now upcoming, we just got booked like 2-3 days ago for a benefit concert for Puerto Rico and Backyard and Bell. He's gonna be working at the same time playing.
I actually work there. So.
I run sound there and work security sometimes
and
too.
And then that's gonna be April 20th. And then April 27th, Friday, we're doing North by North Texas right here.
Nice,
and
man.
Then the day after, another festival, we're doing Denton Arts and Jazz.
There you go.
Jazz, Saturday
so
night.
It sounds like people are starting to get up behind the sound. People are liking it. People are enjoying it. So keep it up, man. Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
know, I mean,
Appreciate it.
making music in this town's a good time. So is music what brought you to Denton? Or did you grow up? What brought you to this place?
I mean, I'm in going to school for music or anything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of had a period throw back to high school, I guess, where I did gigs and I did like kind of acoustic stuff. You know how many acoustic
I saw a couple
there.
pictures. I did minor Facebook.
Yeah, you probably saw some not good pictures, but I mean some old stuff.
I saw you won like some award. That was the one I was like, okay, I know I can trust this kid. He's got a debate award or something.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, I did debate in high school, and I kind of did acoustic stuff, and it was going good, right? And I was good on putting on some good shows, but it just didn't feel right, and so I kind of took a year off, and I came to school here, and then kind of just exploded with everything that's going around in Denton. I was like, this is the right place to be, and it kind of just like I wasn't planning on doing music again. I kind of just stopped.
Yeah,
and it kind of just. The train started taking off again, and I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Was it just all the music that was around you, like on campus, and just all the people, and just that environment in general?
Like,
you know?
Like this time last year, I wasn't thinking about, I wasn't planning on doing music for like the rest of my life, and now it's like getting back into it. I started writing, and it just, I think I needed that year off to kind of grow with my music. A Chance the Rapper, huge influence. Love that guy. He's a performer first. Yeah, you know what I mean. He's not just a musician.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah, watching it, like I said, that performance was ridiculous. I was like, woo.
And I'm a huge believer in that as well. I guess coming from, like I said, a background in other things. Like, I think performing. I hate when bands just stand there and play. Because, I mean, you could just be at home listening to that. You can close your eyes, it's the same thing. Yeah. I think that's why I have the horns. I mean, there's just him right now, but the horns and the bass player and our keys, they're all, like, scream, like, go figure, that figure. And they're all like, They're doing more than just playing. It's performance. You know?
Yeah, there's another
That's what it
band
should
that
be.
reminds me of there's another band that plays in town. They're called Mojo.
Yeah.
And they're like a funk psych, but they have some hip hop in the band as well. And those guys do it too, man. It's a performance. It's energy that y'all put out, because you can't expect energy back if you're not putting anything out there in the first place.
Exactly, man.
You know, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. Just. It is strange. Denton will do that to people. You'll come here, you don't expect it, and then all of a sudden
Not
you're
at all.
playing a lot more music, and you've got yourself a few shows like that. You know,
really.
And so, did you grow up in Denton? Are you from here? Or?
I'm from Argyle, so
Okay.
just right outside of Denton, and I didn't even know that this was here in Denton. Like, I would come to the square often, but I had no idea that it was such a musical city. I mean, I don't know, Denton. The little D is amazing.
Little D.
Yeah, I mean, like when I moved here, I knew there was music, but it'll sweep you up pretty quickly in the scene, because like I'm already like in my head, I'm already kicking like who I can book you with. I'm like, who do I want to put this kid with, as far as what bands would you go good with? Like, talk to a kid named Sage Baker. Like, you should play a show with that kid, no doubt in my mind.
Baker.
Yeah, Sage Baker is awesome. He goes by Sage. He plays all over. He's been playing a lot lately too. He's been on the show as well. You know, and so you said you had to audition. You know, you were talking about auditioning. So what's that kind of like, man? Like, auditions that's a lot of pressure.
Man, I actually struggled with auditions growing up in high school. I mean, like before I auditioned here, man, every time I would go on an audition, I would just start shaking, and my lips would like not perform right. And so and it's big. Auditioning is a thing that every musician that wants to play more has to get over. It's something not everybody can just audition well. You know what I mean? And so auditioning here was not tough. It was actually one of my easier auditions, but just because of who I auditioned with and my circumstances. But like the preparation was the hardest part. It's usually never the audition that's the hardest part. It's the preparation. And you hear about all these guys coming from all over, coming to UNT for music, and you're like, man, I gotta
from all over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
All over the world.
So the preparation, you never know how much to prepare, and so that it's just your own judgment how much you wanna.
And you don't want to over prepare.
Exactly.
It's like studying for a test too much.
Exactly.
You know, you get in there, you forget everything you just taught yourself.
And going off what he said, that's the reason. I mean, we go by the culture, because 80% of this group isn't from the state. Yeah, we're all from the state, but we got Wes on keys. Wes Ziedzek, he's from Chicago. I mean, David Redhauer is from Nebraska, and the two other horns are from Birmingham, Alabama. So like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so like that going off what he said, that's everyone's from everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
so everybody
amazing.
just loves the music, man.
Everyone brings their own thing to the table. And
For the culture.
yeah, man, do it for the culture, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing that I wanted to compliment you on, because even like I said, I was like, being in a glass studio, it doesn't have the acoustics and all that. You did a really good job of controlling your breath when playing. And I just have friends who play, so I know how difficult that can be. To like, you have to put just enough, but not too much, in order to maintain. And the way that like you build the attack, like like I love that, man. That's one of those things that takes skill.
Appreciate it.
Because you can't, people are like, oh, you just.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not.
It's not like
that's
that.
not the way it works at all. It's like
I wish it was like that.
It's like they can just do this in the guitar, and it works.
Yeah, you take a couple of days off on the horn, and you come back, you're like, whoa.
I've had some people. They're like, can you show me how to make beats? I'm like, ugh. You got like 8 years, like I can show you.
Got some time.
This is going to be a process that we're going to have to go through. So you've got you had some recordings that you sent me, man, and we just did the live performance. Which once again, if y'all didn't see that, click back a little bit. It was right before the commercial break. Incredible performance by these guys. Kind of tell me a little bit about that track. Just that song in general. Because once again, you're flowing quick, and so I'm just enjoying it. What is that song kind of about, man? I heard maybe something about a girl in there.
Yeah, break down the lyrics.
Break
down the lyrics.
Hey, man, it's just like, it's a track off the project we're working on, 85.
Okay.
So like, it's about, this is gonna sound strange, but wait to it. It's a hip hop and obviously R&B, soul, and jazz album about the 1985 Mexico City earthquakes.
Okay.
Right. No one knows about that.
That explains the album artwork that I saw too.
It's the cover of somewhere outside of Mexico City.
Okay.
And the houses that were destroyed at one point.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's a bit conceptual of a concept album.
Yeah, it's a concept album.
Yeah.
So definitely like our first song we didn't play Downtown, but Downtown, it's kind of like a whoosh of sound, and it's very synth, almost indie sounding. It doesn't actually sound like probably anything we just did.
Yeah, it's very
but
different.
Very, very different. more jazz, definitely oriented.
Cool.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot
a lot of
of
whooshing
swish.
sounds and
Yeah.
I
everything.
like whooshes.
Yeah. But it's basically the concept of Ariel. I came up with the idea of Ariel as a moniker, sort of say. It wasn't supposed to be myself, and I was like, I kind of just took it over because that's my middle name.
Okay.
Ariel, so, and it's kind of like he's walking through the streets like after like the earthquake happens because both my parents were in this and they've told me stories and it sounds like a movie and it's all real.
Yeah.
And no one talks about it. And so it's like he's walking through the streets and just sees like the broken, cracked streets through the middle, and just like a movie, but all these things happen and no one talks about it. And so it's the only way to catch people's attention is by tricking them into it almost by a hip hop R&B album. You may not be about the Mexico City earthquake, like what?
Yeah.
And so and then the second song would be this the second song of the project, Something, and it kind of starts from the beginning. So it's like a love story inside the Mexico City earthquake. So it's like something he's chilling with his friends, and that's what kind of the backing vocals are. He's at a party with his friends and everything, Ariel. And he's like, go figure, and he's having fun and a great time. And like, she knew that I'd do anything. And they're like, for real, you know when you got not catcalling in any manner, but they're like,
no,
you know, man, you.
No, once again, I can even see the video.
Yeah.
Like you at a party, like she's not paying attention to you, and you're like this, and your friends just come in full real. And then back, that's some classic, just '90s, hilarious.
That's exactly.
That's like some Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type stuff, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I mean, the point of the project is if someone who's never heard of us hears the songs and they're like, get that you wouldn't have gotten. That's about like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what it's about. So, I mean, the point of the songs is supposed to work inside the project and outside. So it doesn't really matter how you listen to it. But if you listen to it all the way through, there's definitely a story behind it and everything.
Because you had one in that, what is it? It's like 4'3" or something like that.
She stood taller than me, but then doesn't everyone, I'm like 4'3". Because I'm short, man, because I'm short.
Well, that cracked me up because I was like, he's taller than 4'3". Like, did I hear that lyric right?
Yeah.
So... yeah, man, that's really cool. That's a very interesting. I would never would have thought that.
Yeah.
When I saw 85, I was gonna ask you like, what's up with 85?
1985.
Yeah. So that's awesome, man. That's a cool concept, and I like that idea. And that, like you said, if you listen to the album all the way through, sure, you're gonna catch some I guess like some consistencies throughout the album. But if you just listen to one song at a time, you can kind of take it as you like.
Exactly.
That's the point.
That's cool, and that's a fun track, man.
Thank
Like
you.
I'm saying, like that music just made me start having fun.
Yeah.
Right when I heard it, and the horns go over it perfectly.
Yeah.
So that was real good. So I can kind of see why when you heard this, you're like, this is new, this is exciting,
fireworks.
this is different. So do you want to do music management for a career? Are you like, what kind of do you see? Like,
now
are you
that
going to be the person like who like does all the crazy events at the Cowboy Stadium, or
I mean,
like
that would be really cool.
that'd be cool.
I don't know. Yeah, I think.
And do you sing? Do you perform? Like, do you?
Yes.
Okay,
he's
well,
like, yes.
I auditioned at UNT for clarinet playing. Didn't work out. It's okay. But I'm media arts right now, so
Okay.
since I started my job, I have really grown to love like more music management stuff. And so I think it would be amazing. And I volunteered for Octopia and Thin Line and what else was here? 35 Denton. R.I.P. But come back, please. But I totally.
Don't worry, there is another
love it.
festival in the works.
Yeah.
There's more. There's plenty more
Hey,
fun
let-
stuff.
Let
to
us
come.
know. Let us know.
Yeah, there's
Let us
trust.
know.
Yeah, no, it's always good. Me and a couple of venues are on the talks, so it's just all about putting all
here
all
for it.
things together. Yeah,
Let us know.
yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. We were deciding, do we want to do 2 days, 3 days? How do we want to do it? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, rest in peace, 35 Denton. But that's the thing, man. It's like one thing goes away, somebody's like, oh, we'll just bring something right back.
Yeah.
It happens. The one piece of advice I'll give, like if you want to go into music, is kind of like I said, like just being out and about, and word of mouth is to me is a much bigger tool than a lot of the social media that people use. It's great, like to remind people.
Yeah.
But if you want to get people excited, it's hard to get people excited with a Facebook event. It just kind of is.
Be like,
it's like, oh, Jason's band's playing. I had lunch with him yesterday. This is like we ate at Chick-fil-A. It's not that surprising, So it's that going out and talking to people and being excited and meeting people and learning when you hear the word no just means next.
Yeah.
You know,
Very
because you'll approach places and you'll have ideas. Luckily, your music's great, so you shouldn't have. If somebody tells you no, that's their fault.
Yeah.
They're the ones. They're the ones missing out. So don't worry about that.
You should.
But yeah, the word and yeah, that the word no just means next. And the one thing I always tell people is like, there's the difference between being confident and cocky. Confidence comes from doing things and they work.
Yeah.
And it goes well.
And
Cockiness is when you just walk in and you think you're
Yeah.
already cool
Yeah.
and you haven't even tried yet. So developing that confidence, which I can already, I see it. This is a trio right here of good vibes. All right, I enjoy it. Plus, this kid makes really good pizzas. You didn't know that, but you made my pizza
Hey,
that
man, you
night.
ain't made me
What'd you
pizza
get?
yet.
Yeah, man, I think I can't. Oh, I got the ricotta one. With the spinach and the
ricotta.
Ricotta,
ricotta.
excuse
My
me.
mistake.
He told me to say it like that every time. He's like,
Who
don't
did?
say ricotta, say
Who did?
ricotta. I was like,
Who did?
Caden told me
Okay,
that.
okay. I was like, I could see Nick telling that.
Oh, no.
Say ricotta, So, oh man. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna have to wrap up the show now. It's been a good time, y'all. I know that you guys have that show one more time coming up at Backyard on Bell.
Yeah.
What's the date on that again?
April 20th.
April 20th.
Yeah.
All right. We got good times coming up. Once again, y'all, we had Ariel and the Culture today performing their live song 85 right here. Once again, appreciate y'all
it, man.
so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
It was
man.
awesome. Once again, best of luck to y'all. Y'all tune in next
Thanks.
week right here on Sound Values with Kind Beats. Take it easy, Denton. Peace.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.